Winkler Heating and Cooling for 24/7 comfort on call.
Hello, Brad.
Greetings, Chris. Today and again tomorrow, we're going to be talking a little bit more about this upcoming eclipse. It'll be Monday, so it's just a few days away now. The path of totality is from Texas to Maine, but we're north of that area of totality, so we will only experience it as a partial eclipse, a little bit greater portion of the eclipse farther south and less north, but all of us will see a large portion of the sun covered by the moon right around 2:08, 2:09, 2:10 Monday afternoon. But the problem is, how do you see it?
Oh, okay. I thought there was another problem, but I bet you're going to talk about that later.
We'll talk about that, yeah. So the problem is that not just with an eclipse, anytime it is not safe to look directly at the sun. Obviously, it's just too bright. But there are certain instruments that you can use to look at the sun. The first one of which is a handheld solar viewer, which, again, this is a little bit tougher to find, but I see that they do have them at Amazon, because what don't they have, right? But this is essentially a little rectangular cardboard device. It has a little Mylar window cut out, and you look through that little window that sufficiently darkens the disk of the sun so you can view the eclipse and the sun even when there's not an eclipse. And then the more conventional means, of course, are eclipse glasses. By the way, I did notice that Menards locally has a big display right as you walk in.
How much are those going for?
99 cents, I think it is, after rebate.
There you
but
go.
so they're affordable. But it's just interesting that a lot of places, they are available locally if you don't want to have to get them through Amazon. Now, here's one other thing. If you don't have safety eyewear, there's other ways to view the eclipse, believe it or not, indirectly. This can be as simple as an index card. You punch a small hole, you let the sunlight pass through the card and form down on the cement or wherever you are, and you'll be able to see an image of the sun's disk, and you'll be able to see as the eclipse progresses. If you really want to use that indirect method, you can also use a cardboard box.
I remember making these like long time ago.
I've done it already too, and it actually works very good. You use aluminum foil with a pinhole, cardboard, white sheet of paper in the background, and then you look through the other corner of the box and you'll see that projected there. Here's where people get into trouble with serious and sometimes permanent eye damages. When you try to look at the sun through binoculars or through a camera or through a telescope, because you have to remember that those lenses focus all of that light into a little small area, and that's why don't even try with your eclipse glasses trying to put it in front of the lens, because a lot can go wrong there, okay? But there are special solar filters that you can buy for these other devices. But there is one exception I wanted to point out, and that is cell phone cameras. Now, you do run the risk of damaging the sensor in your camera, okay? So I want to be upfront that there is that possibility. But remember, with a smartphone camera, you're not looking through the lens, you're looking at the screen, okay? But you need to hold or tape the lens from a spare pair of eclipse glasses right over your camera lens, because they're so tiny, it'll easily cover it, okay? So there's not a risk of it slipping off. So make sure you tape it on there, and then you might have to autofocus, maybe manual focus, don't zoom in too much, and auto exposure may work for you, or you might have to manually adjust it. But those are all exceptions or things you can try. The only problem, as we look ahead, it looks like it's going to be rather cloudy, but don't lose all hope yet. We're going to be talking more about
several days away.
Yep, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and how it will unfold from start to finish. That's coming up tomorrow.
All right. And if you want to get all this again, go to the 3 Brilliant Minute tabs, WBAY.com. A lot of useful information there, Brad. As always, thank you.